Kath and Kim are responsible for the bushfires. Martin North, John Adams, in the interest of the people.
Martin, we have a serious topic to talk about today. So we've obviously seen catastrophic bushfires running through New South Wales and Victoria and parts of South Australia. And there's a lot of emotion, a lot of people very upset. One of the things that I think is important to highlight is that what has happened in the last month or so, because the intensity of the fires have actually escalated as more fires have started. What has happened, was avoidable. There was a series of warnings by one of Australia's leading experts on bushfires, and we're going to go through this person's resume and what this person has said on the record for a couple of decades, because his warnings about this have been completely ignored. We have seen in the last 2 months what happens when bureaucrats and politicians just basically don't listen to expertise advice.
Good. So we're going to talk about David Packham.
So this individual, I mean, he's not just some sort of crank. He's one of our leading people, and he's published over 53 research papers about bushfires. After a series of decades where he's been warning about how we've been approaching land management and fuel loads, and how they contribute to bushfires, he put in a particular submission, and we'll put the submission up on the screen. And this submission actually has some very stark and blunt statements that I think that we need to alert the audience to, because when people say no one saw this coming, or perhaps this was due to a whole host of events, maybe perhaps like climate change. This person's saying something very different, and he said it many years before the event actually happened. Who am I as a non-expert to question someone who could see the crisis coming, put in a submission into a parliamentary inquiry, has deep scientific expertise, and basically saying, "I told you so," and if you had listened to me, this could have all been averted.
Makes you think, doesn't it? I wonder what other else you could apply that to. Armageddon?
Potentially. So a lot of people in our area of expertise will basically dismiss us until the crisis actually occurs.
Yep.
But we'll continue to talk about the economic Armageddon coming over the next few months, because we've got a lot to say about what's happening in that area.
And what it really says is that the people who are calling the shots aren't necessarily the ones who are best informed.
Correct.
They are tending to look after their own positions and to protect their particular points of view. They tend to use media and spin and deflect rather than wanting to tackle the fundamental issues that they should be tackling. And that behaviour, as you say, is quite widely spread, not just, I guess, in Australia, but certainly in Australia. And we see that around the bushfires, we see that around economics, and we see that around the financial situation that we're in. So I think what you're saying is there is a small window of opportunity to think and behave and act differently. But if we don't, then disaster waits.
Absolutely.
John, I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Martin North, John Adams, in the interest of people. We'll see you next time.